Since 1990, over 200 people have been killed by right-wing extremists in Germany. Many cases remain unsolved to this day. Heartbreak, devastation, an attack motivated by far-right extremism that has torn apart the Turkish community of Hanau.
Sehr traurig. Das musste nicht sein.
At around 10 p.m. on February 19th, 2020, a 43-year-old German citizen drove to the small German town center. He pulled up his car outside the midnight shisha bar, where locals were enjoying an evening, socializing and smoking together. The man entered the bar with a gun and opened fire on anyone who could see. It was chaos. 4 people dead.
Birden silah sesleri duydum. Karşı taraftan zaten aramızda 15 metre var. Ben böyle kişisel bir hesaplaşma olarak şey yaptım. Oraya doğru yürüdüm. Çünkü şey yapmadım. Ama bir baktım bir kişi sağ tarafa kaçan 2 kişinin üzerine ateş açtı. Bir kişinin yere düştüğünü gördüm. Ondan sonra yanında hemen otset ladım var. Otset ladına içeri ateş açmak istedi. Kapı otomatik olduğu için kapandı. Onları vuramadı. İçerideki insanlar kaçtı. Ondan sonra sol tarafa doğru kaçtı. Silah 3 el ateş açtı, ben gördüm. Sonra arabaya bindi, kaçtı bu şahıs.
His second target was another shisha place, only a couple kilometers away. A young man sat in a car outside the arena bar. The perpetrator shot him dead, then made his way inside the building. 37-year-old Gökhan Gültekin was working the late night shift at the kiosk there. The man, now identified in German media as Tobias Ratien, pulled his gun and shot him in the head. Gökhan's father had been with his son just moments before.
O gece 10 dakika önce ben onun iş yerinin yanında geçtim, selam verdim. İçeride birkaç tane arkadaşı oturuyordu. Ve ben gittim, hastayım. Kanser tedavisi görüyorum. İlaçlarımı aldım, daha yatağa girmeden bağırtı geldi. Dedik, yahu dedim, ben geldim. Bir şey yoktu, selam verdim, geçtim. Vurmuşlar, öldürmüşler. Ben de 2 dakika sonra. Bunlar gözü dönmüş canidirler. Bunların insanlıkla ilişki yoktur.
Behçet had a special bond with his son. Over the past 2 years, Gökhan would drive his father to Frankfurt twice a week for his chemotherapy sessions.
Sizin evladınız olsa sen ne hissediyorsan ben de onu hissediyorum. İnanmıyorum da. 37 yaşında hiçbir gün benden ayrı kalmamış. Hem de huyu temiz, hem de uyumlu, hem de geçimli. Onu da nişanlandırmaya hazırlanıyordum. O da bu kadarmış.
Ratien killed 5 people in his second shooting spree. 1 person survived.
After he was finished shooting the kiosk, he came to us. We all went back in that bar and got behind there's the bar table, you know? We got behind there. We all on the ground. I got on Momo. Momo already got 1 shot in his shoulder. I didn't know. And I jumped on Momo. I think somebody jumped on me. Then he had his gun in his hand and he was shooting at us on the ground. I don't know. I want to see the video because that, I don't know. I think somebody was laying on me and he got all the shots.
The shooting has had a profound effect on Peter. In the days immediately after the attack, he converted to Islam and now wants to be called Bilal.
I've been interested in Islam for a long time. But the Friday before the shooting was, I went with Momo to pray in the mosque. So I think that saved my life. And that's why I said, okay, now is the time.
At the end of his rampage, the gunman drove home. When the police stormed the house of the suspected killer here, they found more questions than answers. The perpetrator dead alongside the body of his mom. People are demanding an explanation as to what drove this terror attack and if future ones can be prevented. But if the track record of German authorities is a useful guide, it will do little to ease growing public anger. Police picked up the mobile phone and computer of the perpetrator at his home. Gratien had set up a personal website that has since been taken down. He had uploaded a 24-page manifesto in which he talked about his life and claimed he was being controlled by an unnamed intelligence agency. There are rants about ethnic minorities in Germany as well. Gratien said people from predominantly Muslim countries such as Morocco, Algeria, Egypt, Turkey, Iraq and Iran must be destroyed. He also included other countries such as India, Vietnam and Cambodia. And he talks about Nazi ideology, wanting holders of German passports to be, as he describes, as purebred and valuable. Gratien also uploaded a video on YouTube discussing these far-right views. Security footage pulled from the arena bar has shown he was there 4 days prior to the attack. Although Germany has strict gun laws, Gratien had a hunting license and legally bought the gun he used to carry out this attack. All this information raises an even bigger question about how such a person who was making his opinions very public continued to go under the radar, and the community of Hanau want answers. The morning after the attack, German Interior Minister Horst Seehofer attended a vigil at the site of the first attack. As he laid flowers, there were cries of despair.
Gar nichts. Das ist nur Spielerei hier. Düşün, öldüren kişinin ailesi de öldürülmüş. Kim öldürdü bunu? Bu kişi tek başına yapmadı ki bu olayı. Arkasında devlet var. Ya içeride Alman da olabilirdi. Adam rastgele girmiş, herkese saldırmış yani.
The same day, German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier also went to Hanau.
Wenn wir Zeichen setzen der Rücksichtnahme und der Solidarität setzen, Zeichen wie den Angehörigen, die um die Toten trauern, Kraft und Beistand geben. Rücksichtnahme und Solidarität aber auch, die wir als Gesellschaft brauchen, wenn wir Zusammenhalt in unserem Lande bewahren wollen.
His visit seemed to provide little comfort.
Es kann nicht sein, wenn die Regierung die AfD-Rassismus auf der anderen Seite Seiten des Politiks legalisiert.
Germany has experienced a surge in far-right extremism since the refugee crisis in 2015. The right-wing Alternative for Germany, the AfD, became the largest opposition party in 2017 and has gained support in many areas of the country. The AfD proposes strong anti-immigration policies. They describe the influx of refugees to Germany as an invasion of foreigners and openly focus on Islam, claiming the religion is alien to German society.
Das sehen Sie doch auf den Bildern. Es sind fast nur junge Männer, durch die Bank. Ganz wenig Frauen, wenig Kinder, vielleicht 80% junge Männer, die komischerweise nur die verfolgt sind. Das ist für uns nicht logisch. Ja, und die Frauen und die Kinder lassen sie zurück. Würde ich nicht machen. Ich würde nicht fliehen und lasse meine Familie zurück. Das geht doch nicht.
Once marginal, parties like the AfD are quickly gaining legitimacy. In February 2020, Angela Merkel's Christian Democrats and Liberals collaborated with the AfD in the federal state of Thuringia, a first in modern German political history.
Seit 20 Jahren wird gegen den Islam gehetzt. Seit 20 Jahren in den Medien Islam-Terrorismus. Seit 20 Jahren wird der Islam mit Terrorismus in Verbindung gebracht, was nicht den Tatsachen entspricht. Und es gibt genug Idioten in diesem Land, die genau diesen Müll glauben, und das ist das Ergebnis.
Despite growing support for far-right groups, thousands of Germans showed solidarity with communities affected by the attack.
I'm very sad and I just feel, I can't push it in words. It's so sad and but at the same time, there's so many people here on Thursday, yesterday, today. There's so many people who say, no, we don't want violence here in Hanau, we don't want violence in Hessen, in Germany, and they are all, there's such a big solidarity here.
I'm angry and sad because racism happens in Germany because of the attacks that happen. I think that shouldn't happen, that shouldn't have happened. It's a tragedy and that it could have been prevented. And that's what I'm standing here, against racism, against Islamophobia, against anti-Semitism.
Some believe the authorities are not doing enough and even accuse the police of being complicit.
Bunlar da desteği muhakkak politikacısı vardır içinde, polisi vardır içinde, destek alıyor, göz yumuyorlar.
İhmal var o zaman.
Var, destek alıyorlar.
The German government says it is working hard to combat extremism. In 2019, they unveiled new measures to counter the growing threat posed by far-right extremism.
Rassismus ist ein Gift. Der Hass ist ein Gift. Und dieses Gift existiert in unserer Gesellschaft. Die Bundesregierung und alle staatlichen Institutionen stehen für die Rechte und Würde eines jeden Menschen in unserem Land. Wir unterscheiden Bürger nicht nach Herkunft oder Religion. Wir stellen uns denen, die versuchen, in Deutschland zu spalten, mit aller Kraft und Entschlossenheit entgegen.
Part of the action introduced last year was meant to enhance cooperation between police and intelligence agencies, meant to stop terrorists exactly like Ratien. The attacks in Hanau brought back painful memories for the Turkish community in Germany. Between 2000 and 2007, a neo-Nazi group called National Socialist Underground, the NSU, killed 8 Turks. The NSU had 3 members, Uwe Böhnhardt, Uwe Mundlos and Beate Zschäpe. On November 4th, 2011, Böhnhardt and Mundlos were found dead. 7 years later, Zschäpe was sentenced to life. But there is still very little information known publicly about the NSU attacks, and German authorities decided to seal the NSU case files for 120 years.
Also insofern ist Frau Merkel auch ihr Versprechen, es gäbe eine komplette Aufklärung der Mordfälle des NSU schuldig geblieben. Genau auch wie die hessische Landesregierung. Und das ist auch ein Teil dessen, dass sich heute leider Faschisten, Neonazis in Deutschland sozusagen das ja auch sehen und auch erleben, ja, dass sie vom Staat, dass diese Aufklärung nicht komplett vorgenommen wird.
Decades ago, their parents moved to Germany. They were called the Gastarbeiter, guest workers. They came with the hope of a bright future for themselves and their families. Instead, their children fell victim to far-right extremism. For a country that has leaned on the service of Turkish migrants for so many years, the question now is whether Germany will ever make this community feel at home.